everyone, it's Rohan from Big Computing, and today I'm going to be showing you some quick ways you can speed up your computer. A lot of the times when we're using our computers, we notice this unexplained slowness or weird lagginess, and we don't really know what's causing that. Today I'm going to show you a quick way you can quickly diagnose what is causing that slowness and take the first steps to resolve those issues. The tool we're going to be using is called Task Manager, which you can access just by clicking the Windows icon and searching for Task Manager. As this program launches, you'll see a lot of information on the screen. We're going to be using the Processes tab on the left sidebar. There's a couple other options there, but just the Processes one, which is this one where you see all these programs and the four little categories. So obviously these programs are going to be the applications that your computer is running. This first column, the CPU, is your computer's processor. That's the brain of your computer. So any brain work your computer has to do is going to be going through the CPU. The memory is talking about the RAM, which is your kind of like your short-term memory. Any data that your computer is consistently referring back to with the processes you're doing is going to be using your memory. The disk is more of your long-term memory. Anything that's not consistently in use that your computer will have to go back and find, that's going to be your disk usage. And then your network is just how fast your computer is connecting to the internet. These percentages at the top are just what percent of that component's capacity is being used. So for example, the CPU is currently at 41% usage, or around 45-50%, I guess. That's not too bad. Once it gets closer to 100%, that's when you start to notice the slowness, and it's the same with the memory. You'll see that as I clicked on each of these categories, the order of the applications on the left changed, and that's just simply ranking them based on how much or which app is using the most of the resource. So for example, when I click on CPU, you see that Zoom is using 16%, which is currently the highest percentage, and Zoom is what I'm using to record this, so it's obviously taking quite a bit of my resources. With memory, Zoom, Edge, a bunch of different things I have open are kind of taking up a lot of the memory I have. And oftentimes you'll see programs that you don't necessarily recognize or aren't necessarily using, and that's when you can close those programs to free up your resources. So for example, I'm not really using Chrome right now, and the way I want to close that is I right click on that option, Google Chrome, and I simply click End Task. Before I do that, I do want to say keep an eye on these two numbers around 45 and 45, and let's see after closing these programs if we can get that to drop. Okay, I'm gonna close Chrome. It does spike at the beginning as it closes it, but then it begins to settle back down. I'm also going to close my soft phone. I'm going to close, see if I just sort by name, I can close ChatGPT, close Teams, close Edge, close Outlook, and it spiked. I close a bunch of things at once, so that takes some brain work. So right now it's at 94%. Let's observe as it begins to settle back down. So there we go. It's beginning to drop down to 30. RAM has dropped below 40% too. It was at 45, I believe, before. CPU is around 40. 28. Zoom, since Zoom is what I'm using to record it, that's what's taking up the primary, it's the primary culprit for taking up my CPU. But they've both settled to a little below 40%, which is lower than what we had before. One thing to mention, if it's a program you're not using, it's easy to just close it. If it's something you have to use, something that's key to your workflow, then that's when you can reach out to us and we can think about the next steps to take. So that could either be updating your computer, updating the software, seeing if there's any alternatives, upgrading your computer's hardware itself, And there's a bunch of different ways we can go about it, but this tool is what we can use to diagnose what exactly is causing that slowness. I hope this was helpful. Have a great rest of your day.